Hey guys, it's Mi-Anne and this is Beauty with Me. Today I'm super excited because we're going to be playing with 3 brand new palettes that I have been using a little bit this week but haven't really taken a full dive into it yet. I am by no means a professional makeup artist, but I really like playing with new colors. But before we get started, have you guys seen my show yet? If not, please click down here and subscribe to Refinery29 so we can hang out every single Monday. Oh wait, let's get started. So all of these palettes recently launched within the last month or so, and they all have a really similar color selection, and they're very pink, very purple, and it's really gorgeous. I'm gonna try each one out. I'm gonna do a look with each of them that hopefully, if it turns out well, you'll want to recreate. I'm gonna start with this palette by Huda Beauty. It's called the Desert Dusk palette. It's made by Huda Chan. She's an amazing beauty entrepreneur, and this palette is beautiful. I've never seen a palette that has this kind of color selection in it before. It has this beautiful glitter shade, a bunch of heavier glitters, some shimmers, and a lot of matte shade. I swatched them for you so you guys can see all of the shades. They all swatch really beautifully. They feel really nice. So I'm a big fan of these peachy, warm colors, and I really like using them in the crease just to deepen things up in a very subtle way. So I just wanted to put a little bit of shadow here just as my transition shade before I get into any of the crazier colors. So I'm gonna go and do it on the other eye now too. Now I'm gonna go in with this saffron color. I'm gonna put that in my outer corner to deepen it up a little bit. I'm gonna put this purple amethyst color all over my lid. This is the Twilight glitter. I'm gonna tap it onto my lid now on top. Woo! Look how shiny that is. This is the final look. I have to say I'm pretty pleased with it. So the only downside of this palette is the price tag. It is $65, which is definitely on the expensive side for an eyeshadow palette, and it's definitely something I would recommend to someone who likes to play with color. If you like neutral palettes, you're probably not gonna like this, so you should just definitely save your money. All right, we're gonna move on to the next palette, which means I have to take this eyeshadow off and start over again. Goodbye, Huda. Next up is the Natasha Denona Lila palette. I have been patiently awaiting this one. It launched earlier this month and is the most expensive out of the bunch. It is $129. So opening it up, it has this plastic film that tells you what each of the colors are. It also keeps it from getting all the colors everywhere, so smart. I think I'm gonna go with the pinky purpley shades in this palette. Kind of similar to what I did with Huda, but more smoky. This beautiful pink shade right here, all over the lid. There we go. And I'm extending it out in a kind of winged out shape. Now I'm going to blend the edges just a little bit with this taupe matte shade. I'm gonna go in with this violet indigo-ish color that I'm very, very, very excited about. I'm gonna dip into it a little bit, and I'm going to put this in my outer V. I'm gonna bring the same 2 colors, the pink and the purple, on my lower lash line. When you're wearing an eyeshadow that's so pink or red, if you don't wear a lot of mascara, you can kind of look like you have pink eye. So making sure you have a lot of black mascara on the top and bottom lashes will help. So look 2 done. Final thoughts on this palette. I like it, I think they're beautiful, but I will say $130 is expensive, I think, for any makeup item. If you're a professional makeup artist, or if you just love collecting eyeshadow, I think this would be a great palette for you. If you're just a normal eyeshadow user like I am, you might not necessarily need it. On to the next one. I'm gonna take this off again. My eyes are gonna be so raw after this, but I'm doing it for you guys. This is this She palette, Girl Power, and it is more subdued than the others, but definitely still in the rosy pink and purple palette. So the first 2 looks I did were admittedly a little bit on the dramatic side, but I think at this time I'm gonna do a little bit of a more subdued look. This Dusty Rose shade all over my lid. I'm gonna use this slightly lighter matte shade to blend out the pink that I just put on my lid, just to make everything look a little bit more cohesive. And I'm gonna use this gorgeous glittery shade. And it's a nice thing to put on your lid just to give it a little bit of extra oomph. I'm going to mix the pink shade and the pinky purple shade and put that under my lash line. Then, instead of liner, I'm going to use an angled brush, and I'm gonna dip into this purple color and mix it with this pinky purple. I'm gonna use that as my liner. So honestly, for a day-to-day look, I would stop there and just put a lot of mascara on to define my eyes. So this is the final look. It is definitely simpler than the other two, but it's still kind of intense. Totally feel you if it's not for you, but I like it a lot. Final thoughts, for $16, I think it is an amazing buy. And what's cool about it is it has the matte shades, it has the pinks, it has the purples, and it even has the glittery shade, which I use all over my lid. It has that duochrome shifty kind of shade that's kind of similar to some of the Huda palette shades. 10 out of 10 would recommend to a friend. Playing with all of these eyeshadows today, I think I created some pretty cool looks, if I do say so myself. So let me know if you guys try any of these palettes and which of the 3 looks you liked the most in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye! What do you want to see next on Beauty with Me? Tell me in the comments below, and click here to subscribe to Refinery29 and click here to watch another video. Bye!